Hello magical community, welcome back to my channel Emerald Moon. I'm Beck and I'm wishing everybody a very happy Ostara. It's Ostara here in the southern hemisphere, in the southern heaven. It's spring here in the southern hemisphere, and with spring and Ostara, usually at this time of the year I start thinking about that the end of the year is coming upon us. I think we have something like 14 weeks to go until the end of the year, or it might be less than that, and I start thinking about next year, which will be 2020. Can you believe it? 2020. Amazing. And the things that I usually start to think about, first of all, is a journal or diary. So every year I usually have a diary that I get. Last year I had the Stacey DeMarco's Lunar Diary, which I thought was really great. But this year I wanted to try something else. But the way that the things have gone this year with me and the turn that my life has taken means that this year has been an extremely scattered year for me. And the result of that is not keeping up with my diary or my book of shadows. And now with spring just around the corner, I like to go through and do a big spring cleanse. Today I have been cleaning out my witchy room and tidying all that up and getting things in order for the light half of the year, now that we're coming out of the shadow half of the year. So I do keep a book of shadows, and the book of shadows that I chose to buy for this year looks like this. It's just a patterned material journal, and inside the pages are just all blank. And the reason why I got this is because the pages are quite thick. I thought it would hold paint and glue really well, because I like lots of texture on mine. But as you can see, my book of shadows is blank. It's empty, and because we're only 3 months out from the end of the year, it should be actually quite full by now, and that is due to my life this year, well, myself this year, where I have been extremely scattered, and I have been doing a lot of inner work this year, and it's been really quite reflective rather than creative. So it means I now have this huge amount of stuff to go into my book of shadows. So that's what my whole Ostara will be about. Will be catching up and bringing my book of shadows to life, and getting that organized, because I feel like I'm to a point now where I'm sick of being scattered, not chaotic, just very scattered and it's hard for me to try and get all my thoughts and getting everything into order. Just like everybody else, I started at the beginning of the year trying to get my life organized, trying to get myself better organized, and this year it just hasn't happened to me. I think that's the number one thing that I have tried to do every single year since 2010, I want to say. Anyway, so this year, like I said, I had tried something different. I went with Yasmin Boland's Moonology Diary, and because this year I started off wanting to focus more on lunar magic and magic over the moon phases. Last year, which was my first year of my witch's journey, I started with just focusing on all the sabbats. So yes, this year I started off wanting to learn more about moon magic and being in line with the moon and the moon phases. It probably hasn't happened as deeply or as consistently as I would have liked it to, but you know, I have tried over the year. So I'm not going to give this diary a review, but I probably used it for the good first half of the year. Started off writing down my daily tarot card pull for the day. I would do for the whole week on a Sunday, and I would go do that. This probably wasn't the best format to do it with, and I found that I was writing down more of my thoughts or what was going on in my life. Just a quick couple of sentences, and I probably did that, like I said, just for the first half of the year, and I haven't used it since. And also at the beginning of the year, I did get this weekly planner, which I decided to use as a gratitude diary. I thought it was really cute. Like, look at the pictures. Look at cute. So cute. Made me so happy to look at those. I thought they were so cute. And I was going to use this as a gratitude diary, which I started off doing, and just using every day just to write down gratitude in. And I found that I had too many systems on the go, and that wasn't working for me. I had too many books to write in, and after I have watched a few YouTube channels over the weekend about witchy planners and diaries and journals and bujos, and there's lots of different systems, but everybody always says the same thing, and that's to keep it simple. So upon reflection of all that and where I'm up to, what I'm thinking of doing is using this journal here. It's just plain, it's black. I got it from Officeworks for like $15, which is really cheap for a dot grid journal. It's got all the little dots there, and it's quite small. And so what I'm going to do is try a different system of putting everything into just the one journal, instead of having several different systems. The reason why I tried out having several different systems on the go at once was because I found last year with the lunar diary, even though I thought it was really great to use, everything that I had last year was, it was very simple, it was very basic, being my first year as a witch. And this year, adding that second layer on top, I needed like more room. So I needed more room for one for tarot studying. I tried to have one for journaling, and I tried to have one for gratitude, and then one for my book of shadows on top of that. So having, oh, and also my ideas and thoughts and opinions on books that I was reading as well. And that's how I have ended up with this huge mess. So for the rest of this year, I'm going to give this a go. Because it's all blank inside, I can create my own system and see what works for me, see what doesn't, see how simplified I can get it without going over the top. I am quite detailed, so I have to remember to keep it simple, otherwise I will go over the top with the detail. And yeah, and that's what I'm going to give a go. At the end of the year, I'll be reviewing how well it's working, and if I decide to continue. I do have some thoughts about what I might do for next year, but it does just depend on how this new system works for me, or how I can get this system to work best for me. Anyway, so happy Ostara, my lovies. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.